All right, let's go to the next story. You may have seen news coverage over the weekend that allegedly, I say allegedly because importantly, the DHS and the FBI issued a joint statement denying this story. But it's coming out of both New York Times and NBC News, I believe, are responsible for these stories. Allegedly, FBI field office leaders were told that the FBI will no longer investigate ICE confrontations. Okay, there's a lot here to unpack. You'll recall, certainly, that with each and every one of these ICE shootings, it seems like the FBI has stepped in, and particularly in the cases of, started with Renee Good, in terms of public outcry, right? Investigate, neutral investigation. Where's the FBI? Let's get a field office to do it right. And then Preddy, and then if you fast forward, you get Houston, a couple of weeks ago, and Lorenzo Salgado Arroyo, who was shot and killed by ICE. And it gives you, not under this particular FBI perhaps, but it does give you some semblance of assurance that there's another entity looking at DHS and ICE shootings. So now here comes this reporting that for journalists are dead certain on, based on their sources, that, yeah, timeout, FBI is not going to do these investigations anymore. So a couple of thoughts. First, under this administration, the need for another entity to look at ICE shootings is absolutely vital, and needs to happen. Again, on an ordinary planet, the Inspector General of DHS would be trusted to do, the IG office is supposed to be independent of all of the DHS law enforcement agencies, right? So they do the shooting usually, and it's either a good shoot, bad shoot, and there's remedial action required. You screwed this up, all that good stuff. I was, for example, when I was chief inspector of the FBI, I was responsible for overseeing teams that did all investigations of agent-involved shootings within the FBI. And it's really fascinating work, and it's very necessary work. And it was handled by the inspection division of the FBI, which is, again, considered quasi-neutral, right? Independent, certainly, of the field office. Okay. Now, the FBI is not going to do it anymore. And here's the problem. Again, if it's ordinary circumstances, I would say to the DHS IG, knock yourself out. You can't say that anymore. And the other thing is, by saying this, if true, the FBI is walking away from its authority as the civil rights enforcement arm of the United States. And some folks may not understand that. The FBI is the designated agency to investigate civil rights violations. And that includes not only hate crimes, but what's called color of law violations, the excessive use of force by law enforcement throughout the country. They're tough cases. Cops beating people up, cops using lethal force. It's tough stuff, but it's the FBI stuff. And I don't know how many, under this administration, how many excessive use of force cases the FBI and DOJ are going to bring against anybody. But I bet you it's going to be very few. And now, if this is true, it's going to be zero involving ICE agents. And in fact, all DHS entities, according to this report. What does this mean? Because the FBI spokesperson was asked about this. First, saying it's not true. It's not true. The FBI is absolutely going to investigate attacks on ICE agents. Okay, well, what? The attacks on ICE agents. That was the response, right? So understand that the tone of this reporting is, yeah, we're not going to see the FBI involved at all in any aspect of looking at whether it was a good shoot, bad shoot, right? When an ICE agent shoots, or for that matter, any DHS entity shoots somebody or beats somebody up. What's the response from FBI? Oh no, we're going to be looking at attacks on ICE agents. So, okay, that's not really the question that we asked you. What we want to know is the FBI going to be an agency that upholds its color of law civil rights authority? And you just told us we're going to investigate attacks on agents. Okay, yeah, that says volumes to me. Volumes. What could be behind this? I do have some opinions on this through observation and experience. Some field offices, could it be FBI Houston, have started, we know this isn't conjecture, has started full-blown real investigations of ICE shootings because it's business as usual in these field offices. Yeah, they kick into gear. Here's the civil rights squad. Here they go. And is it possible that FBI headquarters said, are you guys down there? Are you actually doing a real investigation? Is that what you're doing? Is that possible? Because public reporting says that FBI Houston was actually sitting down with state and local and county authorities. Don't forget, in the Houston shooting of Lorenzo Salgado, the Harris County District Attorney has opened his own case, right? The governor, lo and behold, has said he wants Texas Rangers involved in investigating this. He's not happy that the Latino population is up in arms as we approach the midterms in Texas. And the FBI sat down with everybody. Hey, normal planet, right? And said, let's see what we got, folks. What do you got? We'll play nicely in the sandbox. And now, boom, here's a directive reportedly to all field offices. Knock that off. Stop doing that. Okay, folks, just conjecture, but based on public reporting. So, not good. The report says FBI managers around the country received a written notice informing them of the change on Thursday. Uh-oh. Watch that Harris County Houston case, man. Watch it. Watch it. That DA is not going to give up. And if you've got the governor, Abbott of Texas, going, yeah, I'll put Texas Rangers on this too. Uh-oh. You got the mayor of Houston going, I'll assign Houston PD to this too. Uh-oh. I think there's a connection, but I don't have proof of it, but I think there is. Yeah. And the thing is, it's even if this directive was all encompassing and saying, hey, don't get engaged at all. On either side, did this person attack an ICE agent and then get shot? Or did an agent use excessive force because he or she was attacked allegedly? If you don't get involved in either end of that, you lose all the evidence you would need to determine whether ICE is lying, right? Because if you start looking at, think about it. If you go, yeah, we're going to investigate whether or not an agent drove, a citizen or a non-citizen drove their car an ICE agent. We're going to investigate that. Well, you're going to have to interview witnesses. You're going to have to pull security tapes, right? Recordings. And some of those people you talk to are going to say, he absolutely did not drive his van at anybody. There was no threat. And that's dangerous because now what do you do with that? You have to open a civil rights case on the agent. So hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. That's allegedly what's been told to FBI supervisors.